Now you're going to hear from the fabulous Nicci Roscoe. She's going to say a little bit about herself and then crack on.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. It is fabulous to see you all here this evening. So just a little bit about myself. I am the Fabulous Impact Coach, and I create fabulous impact in your business and in your life. My background is in the media. I was a television and radio presenter in health and fitness, and I used to work for the David Lloyd Health and Fitness Clubs, and before that I worked for Company Magazine. I'm now an international speaker, which I love and is absolutely fabulous because I get to meet people like you guys all the time, and I deliver masterclasses all over England and internationally as well. So let me begin by saying how passionate I am about life and how passionate I am about Uganda, Rwanda, Africa. And I wonder, when was the last time you did something that you all felt really passionate about? When was the last time? And how good did that make you feel? Because I visited Tanzania, and I visited Rwanda, and I visited Uganda. I've been there for safaris, and I've seen the children in the Masai Mara. And when I was in Rwanda, I saw the children there. They were wonderful. They had smiles on their faces. They were happy. They didn't know anything else but having no shoes on their feet and hardly any clothes. And when I met Dave Rutherford and heard about the Grace Children's Village in Uganda, he inspired me so much. And you know what? I thought, thank goodness I've met somebody that is actually as passionate as I am. Right, Dave?
Wow.
God, we don't stop talking to each other. It's fabulous, isn't it? So I support Dave all the way. And I now sponsor a gorgeous little girl called Grace. Now, Grace and I have communicated, and I sent her a card with Dave when he went out there last time. And look, that lovely smile on her face, that's all it took, sending a card. And in that card, I put a photo of my fluffy little dog, Lucky, and a picture of myself. And I wondered, how come Dave sent me a picture of this lovely gentleman holding my card that I'd sent to Grace with the photograph of my fluffy little dog Lucky and me in it. Well, apparently, according to Dave, he took a real fancy to me. So when I go out, when I come with you out to Uganda, we're going to be watching out for him, aren't we? Absolutely. So, look at the smiles on these children's faces. How gorgeous are they? They're so happy because they don't know anything different. They don't know about Hamleys, the toy shop, or Harrods, or Miss Selfridge, or Primark, or H&M. They don't know about any of this. They only know what they have, and they're happy with that. And when I went to Rwanda, I was in a little village there. It was wonderful. And I spent many a day with the children, enjoying it, talking to them, walking with them, playing with them, just like this little guy here. You know, I think he thought he was Muhammad Ali. And we did a little bit of kickboxing with him from my early experience in the health and fitness industry, of course. And don't worry, I won't get you all up doing star jumps, although you did come prepared, didn't you? So there I was, just like you in the photograph you have, Dave. And it's a wonderful feeling. It's such a wonderful feeling to be amongst these children. The energy, the smiles, the laughter is just wonderful. And Dave mentioned that he didn't want to wait till he was 70 years old to do something that he was passionate about. Now, I remember seeing the film The Bucket List. And The Bucket List was a wonderful film with Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman. And they waited till the end of their lives to do something about it, because they were told they were terminally ill and they met in hospital. So you know what they did? They created that bucket list. And one of the first things they did was a skydive. Now let's face it, if you're going to do anything, a skydive probably was the best thing for them to do, right? They also went on safari and had a wonderful time. And they went and visited the peaks in Egypt. So why wait to achieve and do something you are really passionate about in your life? And when you discover what it is you're passionate about, you have a purpose. And when you have that purpose, when are you going to take action? And maybe this evening you will want to take action, because maybe you will now have a passion and you will want to sponsor a child, just like I'm sponsoring Grace, because the joy that is giving me is immense. And I had a letter back from her recently, and it was absolutely wonderful. And I'm looking forward to sending her some more information and saying hi from me too. And there I am with some more of my lovely, gorgeous little friends. And I wanted to share with you this evening a video of when I was with the children and that they were having such fun. And also, I have a passion for animals, and especially gorillas. And we're hoping next year for the Grace Children's Village to take a group of people up the mountains, the Virunga Mountains in Rwanda, which is going to be absolutely fabulous, and I hope you will all join us. And I wanted to share with you this little video clip to show you a little bit about the gorillas and the children. Kaduga, Zanpo. And yours again is Mil. Very good. How inspiring was that, especially seeing the children. They were having fun. Did you see their clothes? Did you see their smiles? Even on their dirty faces, they were able to smile, because I was giving them something and they felt happy. And I want to share with you a story, an experience that I had. And first of all, I want you to know that I remember seeing a film called Shawshank Redemption. For those of you that have seen that film, you will also remember when Andy and Red were in the prison. And for those of you that haven't seen that film, I highly recommend you do. Because Andy and Red had a very long sentence, and they were in prison together, and they became very good friends. And one day, Red said to Andy, "What are we going to do? I don't want to stay here for the rest of my life." And Andy said, "You have two choices. Get busy living or get busy dying." Now I chose to get busy living. And I had my passion and my purpose, and I wanted to take action. And I wanted to visit those gorillas in the Virunga Mountains in Rwanda. And I took that action, and I went there. So picture this. There I was at the base of the Virunga Mountains at 4 a.m. It was misty. It was cold. And I had my climbing gear on and my very sexy hat. In fact, I have brought it here for you all to see this evening, and if someone would like to get it for me, it's just behind the computer. Because how could I not let you see it, right? You had to be part of this moment. So here it is. What do you think? Gorgeous. You like? So there I was with my very sexy hat and my other friends, the guides. We were at the base of the Virunga Mountains, and they carried our backpacks for us. And as we started to climb, I started under my breath. I was out of breath slightly, and I was so grateful that I did something else that I was passionate about, that I had on my bucket list. And that was to start working out and get to the gym and get myself really fit and have a healthy diet. Now that may be on your list. You may be passionate about getting fit. You may be passionate about eating healthily. Your passion may be chocolate. Who knows? Whatever it is, it's your passion. And you need to follow that through when you are ready to do so, to have that purpose and to take action. And as we were climbing up those mountains, I could smell the wonderful smells from the jungle around me. It was gorgeous. And all I could think about was seeing my fabulous gorilla. I couldn't wait. And finally, we reached the top of the mountain 6 hours later. Wow. You know what? I looked around me and I said to the guide, where is the gorillas? And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. They've just gone all the way down to the bottom." Hey, I tell you, it was a moment. You should have been there. And I literally, with everybody else, collapsed on the floor in exhaustion. But you know what? I'd come there because of my passion and my purpose, and I wasn't going to stop. So I got up and I said to everyone in the group, "Come on, we need to get back down there and see those gorillas." That's exactly what we did after drinking loads of water so we wouldn't be so dehydrated. It was getting a little hot at this stage. And our descent became a lot more challenging than it did going up. And in life, Sometimes we may reach our peak, the top of our mountain. Sometimes when we get there, we may need to reach and climb another mountain. But other times, we may have to go all the way down to the bottom to help our friends, to help our families. But actually, I was going down to the bottom because I wanted to have my purpose and see my gorillas that I was so passionate about. And at one point, I had to take that leap of faith. And I had to jump over this big hole into the arms of the guide. Now you should have been there, that was the moment. And all the women jumped into the arms of the guide, but none of the men would do it, and they did have a bit of difficulty climbing over and climbing down. And as he kind of dropped me, all of a sudden he said, "Shh!" And I looked ahead. It was like a mud cave, and there was these big, huge, brown eyes staring at me. And within a moment, this massive silverback gorilla came charging out at us, and the guy went wham, and he bashed me back on the floor. Oh, I've never felt so exhilarated, so excited, so fabulous in the whole of my life. My adrenaline was just pumping. Wow, this was worth everything. You're all coming with me, aren't you, next year now? And then the guide said, "Shh," again. And he told us to be really submissive and crouch down. And as we did so, I kept my eye on the side, looking up, and the gorilla, my wonderful gorilla, started to walk back between us all. He was the king of the jungle, and he wanted to let us know. And as he did so, he looked from side to side to side. And then he just disappeared into the clearing. Wow! That was just fabulous. In fact, it was a fabulously impactful moment I will never, ever forget. Oh, and as we all stood up and gathered ourselves together again to calm down from that amazing experience, so I started to walk out with everybody else into the clearing. And there he was, my fabulous gorilla. This was the exact picture I took because he was standing there in a really cool rat pose. I wanted to have a picture with him, but he said no pictures today. It was a shame. So this is the best you'll get, I'm afraid. That experience is something I will never forget because I was passionate about doing it. I discovered my purpose and I took action. And that is exactly what I did when I met Dave and I found out about the Grace Children's Village. This is my passion. I support you all the way. It is absolutely fabulous and wonderful what you are doing for these children, Dave. And I'm so grateful to be able to support and help gorgeous Grace. And one day I'm going to meet her. And I'm so looking forward to that. And you know, it cost £16, just £16 to pay for their food and their education. Each child. I think what that means.
Each month.
Each month, absolutely. Thank you, Dave. each month. How wonderful is that? £16. Food and education. It's wonderful. So maybe you will find that passion in you today to sponsor a child, just like Grace and all the other beautiful, wonderful children at the Grace Children's Village. And as I said, I'm here to support Dave and give you a massive, huge, fabulous impact. And I'm here to support all of you too. And if anybody would like to talk to me afterwards or have any questions, then please do. And thank you for listening to me. And it's been a pleasure being here this evening.